Yeah, I'm gonna try and do a video every week. I feel like I keep saying that, and then I get anxiety because I'm like backlogged and I haven't edited it or uploaded the picture for it. But I really just want to do weekly check-ins because, um, yeah, there's just something to talk about each week. Okay, so the 500 calorie deficit, um, it took like a week or two, and this will be more in depth when I cover like my July weight and my July eating and stuff. I'll talk about it, I'm sure. But something that I noticed was the deficit. It was really easy to go over or like tell myself, dude, just be at what you're burning today and then have a deficit tomorrow or whatever. It was really hard the first couple days, and then after like 5 to 7 days of doing it like pretty much every day, it was way easier. And if you have like a string of like 3-4 days, then you're not even really thinking about it that much, and it's even easier than that. Um, yeah, so that was nice. This morning, this week, so like the last week of July slash the first week of August, I was running every morning for like a mile or two for like 20-30 minutes, and working out. And that made me burn more calories than I was because there's a little bit where I wasn't really doing much because I was so busy with work. And that also, once you do it a couple days, that you get that momentum, it's really easy. Like, you don't want to do it in the morning, but then you realize, hey, if I don't do it now, I just have to get ready and go for work, so I'm just going to go for it. Then you come back, shower, and then you're kind of like, well, I don't really think I'm going to be able to work out, but whatever, just pack your bag, pack your duffel in case you're going to work out, and then that way you have it just in case. And then you end up working out, and then, you know, you had to run in the morning and you worked out later that day, so pretty nice. But yeah, you do it a couple days, then you just get used to it. And I would just say go through the motions of getting everything ready, put everything on like you're about to do it, and then you'll probably just end up doing it. So don't think about it too much, because then you're probably not going to do it. Don't act like you have to convince yourself every time. Just start heading to the gym. Even like, don't think about it too much, man. Bring a snack if you're worried about like eating or whatever, and just kind of see if you can go into autopilot mode so you can get it done. And you're not always going to feel like working out, running, and you're not always going to feel like having a 500 deficit. And that's why it's really important to just maximize everything you're eating and making sure that you're getting the energy that you need from the food that you need, making sure that you're hitting all your nutrition goals so that you'll see, I've said this before, you'll see that you don't have a lot of wiggle room to begin with. Like if you have chicken and broccoli, rice, cauliflower, carrots, apples, grapes, celery, peanut butter, crackers, applesauce, and some Fig Newtons, that's probably like 2,750 calories. How many calories are you burning in a day? For me, if I run in the morning and work out later in the day, I'll be at like 3,200. So that's a 350 calorie deficit, or 450 calorie deficit. So that's almost 500 calorie deficit. That's a lot of shit. That's not even accounting for yogurt. That's not accounting for cake in the break room, right? That's not accounting for Nutella on your whatever you do. So what I'm saying is you got to figure out what works for you as soon as possible and figure out some kind of manageable walking, running, jogging, weightlifting thing that you can do consistently so that you don't even have to think about it. You know, hey, I'm going to burn this many calories. I'm going to have this many steps. You don't have these weird jackups of like, well, this day I needed this much fuel, and then this day I didn't need any fuel, but I was still in the mode of the yesterday when I needed a lot, so I overate. No, dude, just 99% of the time I do this activity. This is how many calories I burn. So this is what I eat, and that works for me. So you'll develop that after a couple weeks. It's not easy, but I think anybody can do it. I don't think it takes a superhuman. I don't think it's like some gift of some gift among godly men or anything like that. I think it just takes, you know, being able to look at everything you ate, having mindfulness, mindful eating, having done it for a couple weeks, couple months, and then being able to apply the 500 deficit, being able to tweak it live, be able to test things, and be able to look at yourself and go, hey, just being completely honest, man, you can't have beers on Friday anymore. That's just something that you cannot do anymore. Jacks up your sleep, jacks up your next day, not to mention how many calories. Now you have to plan around that. You can't do it anymore. Cool, got it. What's next? Hey man, you just straight up can't do ice cream anymore. I don't know what to tell you. If you're trying to eat the right carbs so that you can have more energy when you work out and be able to recover muscles better and all that, that's calories that we can't afford, man. Okay, cool. We're done with ice cream. Right, so you got to be able to do that shit. If you're not ready, that's fine. Don't do the deficit yet. But when you start running out of things to cut and you're wondering why you're plateauing, and you're basically, when you're wondering what to do next and you're at a plateau and you've mastered everything, you've mastered your cravings, you have a really good relationship with food, you have something that works for you, you have a really consistent diet, consistent workout, and when they do slip, they're still within like tolerances of something that makes sense. If you could do all that, I think you're good for a deficit of like 500. And there'll be some days where you're over 100. There'll be some days where you're minus 750. There might be days where you're minus 1,000. Just know that the plus 100 isn't sustainable. Maintaining exactly what you eat, that's fine, but it's not going to get you over the plateau. Minus 1,000 is not sustainable. Minus 750, not sustainable. You're going to crash. You're going to overeat, and everything that you've done those days is going to be completely worthless. So do the best you can with being in that 500 calorie deficit. If it is more, I had days where it was more than 500 and I felt fine. Just be very, very aware and tell yourself, hey man, this isn't, come on, what are you doing? Did you not drink enough water? Did you drink too much water? Eat too much? Like, just be aware of what's going on, because there's pretty much a guarantee that you're going to overeat the next opportunity, or binge eat the next opportunity, or fall off the rails, or you're missing something. It's just not sustainable. So when you're at that plateau, 500 calorie deficit, work out sustainably, work out predictably. I think that's really important for me, just because if I'm like not running, not working out, or doing anything like that, it's relatively easy to be between 2,500 and 3,000 calories, but I'm probably only burning 2,400 to 2,600. And as soon as I start doing activity, my body's like, way more dehydrated. I gotta drink more water, but that could be interpreted as hunger. So it just throws everything off, the different workouts. So being consistent with walking, running, jogging, and working out is huge. And I would say key to being able to consistently plan what you're going to eat, when you're going to eat it, and how much energy you get from it. And succeed in the long run in terms of deficit and losing weight. I still feel like I look the same, to be completely honest. Like, I still feel like my neck, my chin, my stomach, my back, my side fat, I still feel like I look the same. But I will say, when I see pictures from like last fall, so right now it's August 3rd, I see pictures on Google, Snapchat and stuff, and it's like, hey, this was you in September or October. And I look way different. So I look way better than I used to. Even videos on TikTok I'll see where I'm like, I look inflated a little bit. So I know that I look different, but that's another thing. You might not see the progress. Some days you're going to see it, some days you're not. I feel like I can see the difference in my arms when I take my pictures, and then my chest is a little bit better, and maybe my jaw is a little bit better, maybe my neck is a little bit better, maybe my face is a little bit better. But my stomach, dude, that's probably going to be the last thing to go. So it's interesting. 500 calorie deficit, I think, is I think it works. I think it's awesome. I don't think too much about it. I thought a lot about it the first like week and a half, and then after that, I wasn't really thinking about it that much. I would usually be like my new go-to at the end of the day of being like, okay, cool, so that's it. Let me tally everything up and see where I'm at. Was usually 1,000 calories less than what I burned. So then I would tally everything up and then have a snack or two, or maybe even like a meal, somewhat of a meal, and then I'd be 500 under. That's what would happen most days. So breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, come home, maybe like a snack or a smoothie or something, some fiber, tally everything up. I'd usually be between 500 and 1,000 calories deficit. Sometimes I would surprise myself and I would be like only at a 500, and I was like, well, fuck, I didn't even have dinner yet. So I don't know how that happened. That did happen sometimes. So I'm just not a big fan of planning stuff beforehand. I'd rather just look at everything at the end of the day and then reevaluate for the next day. Totally up to you. But that did happen sometimes. I was like, oh shit, I thought I would be way under today. So that's weird. Now I definitely have to go for a run or whatever. Yeah.